This video is sponsored by Blackology Coffee Company.
What's up, guys? This is Angela with Anj Studio, and I'm recording this video on election night because what else is there to do? And ironically, if you've seen the title of the video, you know I'm talking about a work-life balance, or the myth that exists that there is a work-life balance, especially when you're self-employed. I find that it's been not necessarily hard, but definitely a little more difficult to establish what most people would consider a regular work-life balance, considering I did become self-employed full-time during this pandemic and I've been stuck at home. So most of my time is spent by myself, and I've chosen to use most of my time to work, edit, create, all of those things. So definitely don't have probably as much time that I can say that I'm spending with family and friends as of right now. And from what I've seen from other creators that I admire, aspire to have a similar professional trajectory as, they also have met this crossroads somewhere in their career as well, which is how much am I willing to give to have the life that I want? And at what point do I have to say, okay, I'm going to step back from this, take a vacation because I've worked hard enough to deserve that. And I think what most people have said, and what I find resonating with me as well, is that at some point you're going to work so much it's ridiculous. You are going to push every limit in the book, and that's a good thing. And I definitely agree that that's a good thing, because if you don't push yourself, if you never try, if you don't give it 100%, and not necessarily sacrifice, but give up things that really aren't necessities, then you're never really going to know how much you can do. And I would say that the first time I ever did it was really with wedding photography. And this month I did, 3 weddings, 2 styled shoots, an engagement session. Yeah, so like crazy amount of work. But if I didn't do those things at some other point in my life, I would never know what is a reasonable turnaround time for a project, what people can expect from me, how much time I can give to these things, especially when I have to factor in travel. And so those are just good things to know. Like, if you can't say, I know how much I can take on, then it's very easy to also fall into the trap of overextending yourself and truly overworking yourself to the point where you're like, okay, is the money worth it? Or is the time worth it? Am I enjoying myself? Like, all of these things start to come into question, and those things can happen at the very worst time for you if you're really trying to go as far as you can, as fast as you can, but not really being cognizant of the fact that really and truly it's the little steps along the way that get you to that big dream. So, do I think a work-life myth is possible? Yes. But as someone who's single, not married, no kids, live by myself, like, what excuses do I have to not go after all the things that I want in my life? And I'm saying that to people who may be watching this now, who may be self-employed, thinking about being self-employed, or what I feel like is just as bad when you're working a full-time job and also trying to get your side hustle growing and going, and making the kind of money to where you can maybe a little more confidently step out to being self-employed. What does that say for me? Like, what is that going to look like when I finally do step out and say, like, all right, I'm going to dedicate myself to this, but I also want to have time to breathe and have a moment to myself and have a moment with my family and my friends and just to do things that I like to do. Yes, it's possible. It's just going to look a little bit different for you while you're growing and scaling and building your business. So those are just my thoughts on that. Like this video if you liked it. Again, I'm filming this on election night, so if you see me cranking out another couple videos in this shirt, mind your business. Mind your business. Subscribe to the channel. Do something productive with your day. All right? But don't overdo it. Okay. All right.